hope to God that the lighting in this video is good, because if it's not, I'm gonna have to refilm this whole thing. So let's just take a second and pray to God that the quality of this video is good. So we are going to be playing around with some new products. I bought some things from Ulta Sephora as well as from Dose of Colors. Some of it is new, some of it are just some things that I'm now getting around to purchasing. So just kind of keep that in mind. So we're just going to prime and prep the face. So I did, of course, repurchase my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Serum, or yeah, water gel actually, but I actually got a little bit of a sample from Sephora. This is the Saturday Skin Waterfall Glacier Water Cream. You guys know I love water creams for my moisturizer because they're just so much more easier and they dry really quickly into the skin, and I have been using this since I got it. And I have been so obsessed with this. This is very similar to the Hydro Boost from Neutrogena, hence why I like it so much. So before I move on to foundation, LA Girl actually sent me over their new setting spray collection. They came out with like 4 different setting sprays, and they did of course send it over to me. So they have like a setting spray, primer spray, and then they have 2 shimmer sprays, which you can use for both your body as well as for face. One is gold and one is more of like a silver champagne type of color. I kept the gold one for myself, but I mean, not that that's important for this video. So I'm gonna first go into the primer spray. I really like the mist on this. Like, I don't feel like it's spitting at my face, and it really moisturizes my skin. Again, nothing is like overly done, and it doesn't feel heavy or anything on my skin. So again, this is what the primer spray looks like. Alright, for primer, I'm going to quickly go into my Tatcha Silk Canvas primer. Still have the little sample here. Just popping this on my cheeks as well as my nose. That's where I have the most pores. For foundation, I did pick up the new Dose of Colors Meet Your You foundation. This is in the shade 123 Medium Tan. This is more of like a medium to full coverage, and it has a more like satin matte type of finish, but it is super duper full coverage. This is actually too light for me, so I'm actually going to be mixing this in with another foundation. So kind of keep in mind, this is not like a full-blown review of this foundation, but I have worn it by itself, so I have a really good idea of what this foundation is like. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's super duper runny, which I was like, how is this going to be like super full coverage? But let me tell you, a little bit of that foundation goes a really long way. I'm gonna mix in the color Golden Bronze because again, I still have my like tan from Jamaica, which is actually really annoying me at this point because none of my foundations still don't match me, and I'm just like, this tan just needs to go away at this point. And I am just going to blend this out using my e.l.f. sponge. By the way, if you guys have not tried this sponge, this is the e.l.f. Total Face and Body Sponge. Like, I'm telling you, it's only $4, and it blends out your foundation and sets everything so beautifully. And it's only, again, it's only $4. Like, how can you go wrong with that? I feel like my foundation still looks a little bit lighter than my actual like chest area, so we're just gonna bronze up a lot and try to make this work. So I'm gonna go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Beautiful Bronze, and I'm going to kind of cream contour with this like I normally do. I love this concealer. By the way, this is the Sigma Duo Fiber F15 brush. This is a really nice dual fiber brush. I don't feel like I'm moving my base at all when I use this brush. So if you ever want to purchase anything from Sigma, I do have like a 10% off coupon code. It's always listed down below in the description box. So if you want to purchase anything from their entire website, you totally can save some money. Switching brushes here to my Luxie Mini Angle Brush. You guys know this is like my favorite brush to kind of like do these detail contouring work. Just kind of blend all of this out. Moving on to concealer, I don't have anything new, so I'm just going to go into my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. This is in the shade 41. I'm just popping this in the normal areas. A little bit of a trick that I love to do is while I'm blending out the concealer around my mouth area, whatever product is kind of like left on my sponge, I like to use it and go right under that contour that I did and just sharpen it up, so I'm not using like additional or like excess product or anything like that. Quickly set all of my concealer. I'm going into this powder and I'm so excited to show you guys. This is actually the Kylie Cosmetics setting powder in the color beige. I've never bought anything from Kylie Cosmetics just because I low-key feel like they're overpriced and a little overhyped, but that's just my opinion. So I'm taking a little bit of this powder, tapping off the excess under the cap, and popping this under my eye. Like, this powder is so nice. Like, it's exactly like what they describe it. It's super duper smooth. It doesn't make my under eyes dark or anything, and honestly, it's literally like a filter over your face where you see absolutely no pores. It makes everything so smooth and nice. Like, I just wish that like more product came in here. You only get 0.35 ounces. How much do you get in Laura Mercier? Let me check. You get 1 ounce in the Laura Mercier, so you know what I mean. Like, I wish that it was a full ounce that you got for the powder, granted what the price is, you know what I mean. Jesus, this is such a nice powder, and beige is like the perfect color for our skin tone. So if you are a brown color girl, NC45 for MAC or anything like that, beige is your color. I'm going to set the rest of my face, and I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. I picked up the shade number 3, which is dark. I feel like I love this powder because it does the same thing like the Kylie Cosmetics powder, where it makes everything airbrush and it looks like you have like a filter over your face. But I don't know, every time I put this powder on, I feel like it like low-key makes me look a little gray. I don't know if I like bought the wrong shade, but I feel like they only have 3 shades, 1, 2, and 3, and 3 is like their darker shade, and the number 2 looks really light for like my skin tone. So I don't know, it does look a little bit gray on me though, but I still like the powder. Let's bronze up this face because we are still looking a little dead. I'm going to be going into my Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer. This is in the shade Saddle. Okay, moving on to blush. I actually picked up 2 new blushes. We have the e.l.f. Primer Infused blush in the shade, oh man, I don't remember what shade this is in. It doesn't even have it on the back here, so I'll list it down below in the description box, the description box, of course. And I also did pick up the Charlotte Tilbury Sex on Fire blush as well. I think I'm going to use the e.l.f. one because I did go in with Charlotte Tilbury already. The pigment of this blush is definitely there. I know Manny MUA did a video using the e.l.f. blushes, and he was saying that the pigment isn't there and like he really had to build it up, but I don't find that at all. I don't know if like he may have bought like a too light of a shade for his skin tone, but this shade works beautifully for us, and again, it's really smooth. If you want like a lot of impact, a lot of like blush, you may just have to build it up maybe 2 times or so, but for me, this works completely fine, and it doesn't emphasize texture, it doesn't have any shimmer. It is a matte blush. For highlight, I don't know if this is new, but I've never seen it, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it, but this is the Makeup Revolution Highlight Reloaded. This is in the shade Dare to Divulge. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it is super duper blinding and pigmented, but it feels a little like powdery and not like super duper smooth, and I was expecting this shade to be a little bit more on the like golden side. At least that's what it looked like on the website, but it's definitely more like very like pink. But I mean, you can definitely tell it's definitely blinding, but I wish it was more like of a gold champagne color as opposed to like pink. Face is done. I'm gonna go in and set everything using the LA Girl setting spray. Again, really nice setting spray. Oh, and it smells so like just refreshing and luxurious. Like, I love this setting spray, like no lie. So I didn't buy any palettes for the eyes because nothing really spoke to me. I don't know what I'm going to do for the eyes. This video was mostly about the face, but if I do something interesting, I'll like maybe do one of my eyes with you guys, but let's see. Listen, I don't know how we got here, but this is where we are. So it is super duper easy. It's just a matter, the only thing that like takes a long time is like popping on the crystals, but I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do everything. So it's not a lot of eye work in regards to shadow. It's really simple. So I'm just going to quickly go into a crease shade just because, hold on, I have a little bit of creasing going on here on my lids. Let's just buff this out really quickly. So I'm going to go into like an orangey brown shadow. I'm taking the NYX Swear By It palette, and I'm just going to be mixing this shade as well as this one. And again, I'm not doing anything crazy. You honestly are not going to really see this shadow, but I just want something in this crease, so at least it has a little bit of definition here. And you just really want to like buff this into the crease and just like buff it and blow it out. I'm also going to take those same shades and quickly run this on my lower lash line as well. And that's all we're doing in regards to like crease work. So we're going to go straight into our lid, and I'm taking this ColourPop Super Shock shadow. It's like an ultra glitter eyeshadow, and it is in the shade Frog. And all I'm doing is taking this with my finger, and I am popping this right on my lid. I'm also going to bring this up into that crease area to my brow bone, but making sure there's not too much product going up into that crease. We want most of the pigment to be on our lid. I'm going to take a little brush here so I have a little bit more control for the inner corners and just pop this right there. And then to add a little bit more dimension, I'm going into a ColourPop Glitterly Obsessed Body Glitter. Again, I love these glitters. This is in the shade Do I Look Like I Care, which is super duper pretty. It's like a silver with blue and purple pink reflex. I'm just taking the tiniest bit amount of this, and I'm going to sparsely pop this on top of my lid. See how it just gives it like an extra dimension, but it's still in that same like color family. I'm taking that same Makeup Revolution highlight and popping it in this inner corner, of course dragging it down to that lower lash line. I'm going to do a wing liner, and I'm going to be using my NYX Epic Ink liner in the color Black, of course. This is my favorite liner to use. It just does the job really easy and quick. Okay, now the fun part, the rhinestones. And I picked up this. Half of those rhinestones are like on the floor right now. And like my OCD-ness and like my cancerness is coming out. And I want to pick up every single rhinestone at the moment. Breathe, Waheeda. Breathe. It's fine. We're going to pick it up later. Leave it. So the rhinestones that I did buy comes in this little container, and it has about like 12 different sizes, which I absolutely love. They do have different colors, so if you're more into like buying different colors, you can totally do that. But I love like the regular clear rhinestones. They're just super duper simple and very classy and sophisticated, which is kind of things that, you know, is more my vibe. So there really isn't a technique in regards to placement or anything. It's just about you kind of feeling it out and putting rhinestones wherever you see fit. But I will say that I am going to be using my lash glue, which is the Duo brush on adhesive, and it is in the black color. So I'm just going to be popping the glue on, popping the rhinestone where I want them, and keep going like that. I'm going in with different sizes. So I have a bigger size here, a semi-big size, and then the rest of them are all tiny little rhinestones. So again, I'm just going to kind of speed up through this because it doesn't take too long, but I just need to kind of focus. So I'm going to play some music, and we're just going to speed right through this.
Everything I have, you know I want it. Oh yeah. Stop wearing your best friend clothes, that's not your size. Why you keep on playing games? You playing games. Now you're be playing games. You playing games. Take jump, take wine. Oh, take jump, take wine. Oh, take jump, take wine. Yeah, take jump, take wine. Oh, anything we do,
Alright, so I'm going to pop on some lashes, mascara, and do my lips off of camera, and I'm going to be right back. Alright, this is what everything looks like. I love like zooming you guys in so you can really see everything and the little details and how perfect everything looks. For lips, I did go into a Just So Color gloss. This is in the shade That's Cool. Super, super, really nice pigmented gloss without it feeling super heavy or gloopy or anything like that. And the pigment is definitely there. It just got so dark and gloomy outside, and it is pouring here in New York. It's like literally like a hurricane. Like, this never really happens. It's very rare. Thank God I didn't have to go to work and I'm home, because ain't nobody trying to travel in this weather. Jeez. But anyway, if you guys do try this look though, please, please tag me. Obviously, it is completely inspired by the show Euphoria. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as usual, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!